Hi, I'm Damon Frank, and you're listening to The Recovered Life Show, and this is an episode of How I Did It. Every episode, I talk with someone in recovery about how they've been able to stay sober. We dive into what their life in addiction was like and what their life in sobriety is like now. Remember, addiction is a life-threatening condition, and the information in this episode is provided as a resource only and is not to be used or relied on for any diagnostic or treatment purposes. This is not a substitute when professional diagnosis or treatment is needed. Now, let's jump into the discussion and find out how they did it. I'd like to welcome you to the show. Why don't we start out by introducing yourself? Tell us your name, what addiction you suffer from, and how long you've been sober.
Hi, my name is Lizzie, and I'm 44 years old. I have drug addiction. I was addicted to cocaine, ecstasy, and heroin. Did a lot of snorting, and everything. I've been sober for 21 years.
So when you look back, when was the first time that you noticed a problem?
When I first noticed that I had a problem was when I was detaching from the world. All I cared about was seeking that next high. I didn't care about who I hurt, how I treated other people. I just felt like I had to get back at the world because I felt the world owed me, even though, obviously it didn't. I really realized I had a problem when all I cared about was going out and getting high. I didn't care about anything else. I had children when I was young, 2 children when I was younger. I didn't even care about what I was doing to them or anybody else.
So tell us a little bit about your life growing up. Did you have members of your family that suffered from addiction? Did you identify early on that maybe you were different from your friends and people around you? Maybe you can share a story or an experience or a memory with us about your childhood.
So growing up, I was in basically a 2-parent household for a little while. Had a really kind of messed up childhood. I had a brother who was in my life and then suddenly he was gone. I didn't know why he was gone. My mother was a huge alcoholic, her words, because we can't really tell someone that they're either alcoholic or anything. I grew up going to children of AA meetings and stuff like that in school. I always swore I would never follow in her footsteps. I used to leave pamphlets around the house for her, trying to get her to change. Obviously, that didn't work. And eventually I did kind of followed in her footsteps when I tried so hard not to. I didn't identify anything was really wrong with myself. I never really expected to go down that road. Obviously, I don't think anybody expects to go down that road. I didn't want to drink as much as other people really wanted to drink. I think I did it because I wanted to be cool and fit in with others. And eventually, I didn't really like drinking, so I really preferred doing other things and ended up, where I am today.
I would love it if you could share with us what happened. What happened to your life as a result of addiction? What did your life become, and how did you live your life day to day?
For me, I just was always hopping couch to couch, staying with people. I didn't have any real life. I mean, I was always trying to just find the next high. I would work here and there. I didn't have any steady jobs. I honestly don't know how I survived life back then. My life was just really a blur. I hurt a lot of people, and I've made quite a few amends. A lot of them I couldn't make to people because I have no way of reaching out to those people. If I could, I would definitely say, I apologize for the way I treated you. I apologize for whatever I did that hurt you. And I really try these days to make the best of my life and do right by everyone I meet, regardless of how they treat me. I try to be kind no matter what. I ended up overdosing at a party. That's what ended up being my bottom. And I didn't go to the hospital. I just laid in the bed and I was like, if it's my time, take me. That's when I really knew that it was time to change my ways. I had no care in the world about leaving this world. Sad to hear, and it's sad to hear myself say that because I'm nowhere near like that anymore, and I'm very grateful for that.
So let's go back to your bottom with addiction. What was going through your head the day that you decided to get sober? Did you make a decision? Was it challenging? Tell us what you were feeling and why ultimately you made that decision to try to get sober.
So my bottom, as I said in the last one, was that I overdosed at a party and I didn't even care. I didn't try to get help. I just wanted to die. I mean, I was so done. I had hurt so many people. I had done so much to myself. I wasn't there for my 2 older children, and I just didn't care anymore. I woke up the next day after that, still sucking air, and I made that decision right there that I needed to get clean. I needed to change my ways. Otherwise, what was going to happen to me? I didn't know. I didn't want to die like I thought I did. I wanted to live. I just didn't know how to do anything. I mean, I didn't know how to live life. I didn't know how to do a lot of stuff. It was very challenging to make a decision. It was more challenging to stick with it. But I knew that if I kept going down the road that I was going, I wouldn't be here any longer. And I didn't want that. I wanted to change. I wanted it so badly that it hurt physically.
After you decided to get sober, what did you do? What actions did you take? I'd love it if you could discuss your first month of sobriety. What worked for you? What didn't?
Thinking back, I honestly remember posting up on a friend's couch and detoxing. I don't remember much except that I did sign up for Job Corps and I really wanted to go and I had to be sober for that. And I had been accepted. I had my plane ticket. I had my date to go. So I really wanted that change. So I detoxed. I ended up going back home to my mom's house and I had to be sober for that as well so that she could, make sure I get to the airport and ship out on time to go to Job Corps. And my first month of sobriety was basically getting prepared to fly in October. My sober date is September 5th, 2001, right before 9/11, which was a total mess. And I had to be in the right frame of mind to even get on a plane after all of that. So what worked for me was staying abstinent from everything. And I just had to stay away from the people I used to hang out with. I had to just focus on getting through each day and not wanting to go get high. It was a change of mindset. I had to go to meetings. I had to talk to another person. Was I 100% good at it? No. Did I stick to it? Absolutely, because I was adamant about changing.
So, what's it like now? Now that you're sober, tell us some things that have happened as a result of you being in recovery.
So everybody out there probably thinks that the minute you get sober, things are hunky-dory and everything is going great. And it's a high in itself of being sober. And, you get that one day sober, you get that week-long sober, you get that 30 days sober, and you've got this like kind of high. And we're told not to get too excited because life happens. And that's absolutely true. Sobriety is amazing, but life happens. And it's not oh my gosh, I'm sober and we can party and be great again. And I can just go do anything I want. It's okay, I'm sober and life is still going to happen. And no matter what comes at me, I have to stay sober. So I've had good things happen. And I've had bad things happen. I've had a loss of a parent in sobriety. I've had a loss of a dear friend in sobriety. I've had lots of losses. I've been homeless in sobriety. But I didn't pick up. I didn't use no matter what happened to me. I didn't choose to relapse. I didn't choose to give up that sobriety just because some bad things happen. I continued to persevere. I will never say never that it couldn't happen, but every day is a day that I choose sobriety over anything else. And that to me is the most amazing thing in my life. The fact that I can handle whatever's thrown at me without having to go and do drugs is amazing. I don't have to go and get messed up just to go to the movies or just to go grocery shopping. That, like I said, alone is absolutely amazing.
What would be your advice to someone that is deciding whether they should get sober? Someone might be listening to this right now and they're on the fence about if they can do it. Should they get sober? Should they try? Maybe they've tried and it hasn't worked. What advice would you give to them?
My advice to anyone that is trying to get sober is keep coming back. Don't give up before the miracle happens. And I know that a lot of these sayings are said in like the rooms of NA and AA, but they're absolutely true. You can't give up. You've got to want it. And if you want it, you can do it. Anybody can get sober. You have to make that choice and you have to put the work in. It's not easy by far. It's every day is a challenge. I mean, I never use the term that I'm recovered. I will always say that I'm recovering because at any time my life could change. At any time. And I want to say just keep getting sober, keep trying. Before you know it, you'll have a day, you'll have a week, you'll have 30 days. And before you know it, you could be a year, 10 years, 20 years. Just keep putting those days together and keep waking up every day and choosing sobriety over anything else, it's the best decision.
If you're listening to this episode and want to get sober, or maybe you're just struggling in your sobriety, possibly 12-step programs and large impersonal groups just aren't your thing. If you're seeking some personalized help on your sobriety journey, I invite you to book a free Get to Know You call today. During the call, we can explore a custom personal recovery game plan that can help you get on track to live your best recovered life. Set up your call by going to recoveredlife.us/call. Don't put this off. You're worth it. Go to recoveredlife.us/call or check out the show notes for more information.